Hello, this is Oliver with the first of a number of bi-weekly sessions called 3 Questions with Oliver. And I'm so glad to be interviewing all of you, whether you're a student, staff or member of faculty. We're going to be considering the values that make up our great school, namely innovation. How do we think outside the box, and how do you all innovate in your daily activities and in your professional lives? Compassion, how do we deliver our mission and our vision of bettering lives in a kind and respectful and engaging way? And then finally, the third of our values is integrity. How do we operate with honor, with transparency, with clear lines of communication and respecting each other in everything that we do? You will be discovering more about your friends and colleagues here at the Great School of Veterinary Medicine, and it's going to be my pleasure to be introducing and interviewing you in the coming weeks and months. So I hope you enjoy this, and let us have your feedback. Thank you very much.
My name is Darius Statham. I'm a third-year veterinary student and the co-founder of the Student Association for Black Veterinarians at LSU.
So Darius, I know that you're the co-founder of the Student Association of Black Veterinarians. Absolutely awesome. Could you tell us a little bit about how the idea came to you and what it means to you to be the co-founder of such an impactful and profound organization? I think it's awesome. What really initiated it for you?
Well, I appreciate you for those words, first of all. But one thing the main 2 principles for SABV was cultural competencies and outreach. We understand that not everyone has had exposure to the Black community, and the few instances of exposure that people may have may not be the most positive, and that causes a generalized stereotype placed on to us, and we know that. So what we wanted to do was provide, for one, that safe space for uncomfortable conversations and just getting through to those differences that we have amongst communities and everything, and showing similarities as well. So we wanted to create that space to kind of bridge the gaps between the communities, for one. And we wanted to do that for our peers, because ultimately we all have to interact with different cultures, different ethnicities and races, no matter if it's your co-workers, your colleagues, or even if it's your peers that you work with. We know that it's important, so we want to do our part and provide that for our peers and colleagues. And also with the outreach, that's just a bigger scope of why we're doing this. That's the main part for me, that's near and dear to me. So I definitely wanted to base those principles onto what the SABV stood for.
Darius, with the SABV, you do a lot of outreach, and I think this is so impressive and so important. And one of the aspects of outreach is obviously through K-12 schools, and I've seen the video. It actually almost brought me to tears. It was so incredible and powerful. Tell us how important that is for you and what that outreach activity does in terms of our pipelines and exposing students from various different backgrounds, students of color, to the prospect of becoming a veterinarian. I think many of them are not aware of that being a career path for them, and I think this is awesome. Let's do more of it. I'd love to be involved. What does it mean to you, and how has that really opened up those avenues, those professional avenues for these students?
Yeah. So with outreach, Kiera and I basically based that off of what we missed in our upbringing. We didn't see that representation. We didn't know what was out there for us, and at first we didn't have that, mentorship. So we wanted to make sure that we implemented that for sure into our organization. So that's why that's so close to me, making sure that I'm intentional about my efforts and stuff. So just in general, just seeing the joy on the kids' faces and stuff when they get these first-time experiences and everything, that makes it worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Our overall goal is to, for one, show the representation early on to their lives and in their journeys. And 2, just show them how they can get there, and sharing our journeys and our personal stories to, show them that we have that parallel, and that anything's possible.
Darius, you're basically a leader, and I think you're an awesome example of what any of our students can do. Your leadership in the area of the SABV is amazing. I think it's an exemplar to all students from diverse backgrounds, but obviously particularly African American students, and it's something I feel really passionately about. We need to represent in our students, our cohort of students, the state of Louisiana, and we need to embrace inclusive excellence, and we are trying very hard to do that in various initiatives. What brought you into veterinary medicine, and what does it mean to you to be such a beacon of inspiration, basically, for all students, but particularly students from diverse backgrounds and African American students that are really important to me to advance in their career trajectories? What does it mean to you, and how did you get there?
So it's a funny story. I started out as an engineering major. I ran track and field in my undergrad. So for me, I just kind of picked a major that made sense, or that I was used to. So I wasn't really focused on that. I was focused on becoming a track and field Olympian, and that didn't work. But once I kind of figured out that wasn't like my pathway, I realized I didn't like engineering. That wasn't something I can see myself going into day to day.
Right.
So I had to find out, what worked for me. So that's when I found veterinary medicine. I did amazing in the classrooms, in the pre-vet program. And I, got a position as a technician, and that's when, vet medicine for me came into full effect. So I learned a lot. I enjoyed it. I asked my boss questions. I asked the veterinarians questions all day. And no matter if it was a good day, bad day, or indifferent, like I enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed coming. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's the main thing that kind of put me into vet medicine. And just
how long were you a technician?
I was a technician for about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was,
And small animals only?
Small animal.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
I'm impressed.
Yeah, so I think from there, that's when I kind of navigated into, I might be interested in surgery, emergency. So,
absolutely.
You just kind of, it's like, a kid in a candy store. You just exposed to this for the first time. So
absolutely, yeah.
it was really exciting for me.
Great. Good for you.